Hello, and welcome to the Ringerverse Roundtable. I'm joined by Van Lathan.
What's up?
Jomi Adeniran.
How's it going?
And we are here to discuss the latest trailer, one of the first big trailers for Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
Dropped this weekend. Sam Jackson, Olivia Colman, a bunch of heavy hitters. What are we thinking?
Are you feeling comfortable right now in like introducing this stuff?
Oh, absolutely not.
Just make because I just want to name it
Yeah?
because it's just us.
Okay.
It's your birthday, and it's Steve's birthday. Just to let people know. And I saw Steve, and Steve, you're in there. I just want to name it. It's the crew, Steve. Happy
Right.
birthday.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
What are we doing for your birthday before we get into not the ads because they didn't pay, but before we get into the trailer, what are we doing for your birthday? What's going on?
I think we could do a nice little dinner.
Dinner?
Three of us? Yeah.
Like, what kind of food do you like?
I like sushi,
Like
Japanese ramen.
Pasta.
Pasta too.
Let's have
some Italian.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Tonight for Steve's birthday, we'll do branzino.
Oh.
I like a flaky white fish for birthdays.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
nice. I'm like scared of fish bones. It's like a long-standing thing. Fish with bones. It terrifies me to my core. But for Steve,
For Steve,
I'll
it's
risk it.
branzino.
Branzino.
And it would be interesting if a scroll could change into a branzino because they probably could. Let's get to the trailer. I liked it. I thought that the trailer kind of set the tone for what this show is going to be, which is going to be maybe a return to basics for the MCU. What did you guys think?
I really enjoyed it. I was like you thinking, all right, this is something that we could, not reset the MCU, but definitely go back to its roots, go back to, Sam Jackson being an underground super spy. And that's what the trailer showed us. It was him like going back through old connections, talking to people from his past, like, hey, this new thing is coming. How do we prepare for it? How can me specifically, stop this thing? And so I was very much locked in. What about you, Steve?
There's been a lot of talk from what I've seen online, and personally, I saw a lot of visual comparisons to Andor. A lot of things shot in either practical settings and a lot of like office spaces, lots of people talking in rooms and interesting people doing so. I'm very intrigued to see what kind of boiled down back to basic storyline for the MCU that this is going to have. Knowing what we know about Nick Fury and how long he's been gone from the mainstay Marvel outings for the last, several, I'm very interested to see what we can learn more about what his sort of fight and stake in the MCU is now, and what different type of characters and kind of beliefs that we can get to know more about him. Van, what to you do you think does this show need to do that like makes it stand out from the latest Marvel shows that we've been getting so far?
First of all, I'm starting to hate the community that I'm a part of.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Here we go.
I'm a proud nerd culture baby. Maybe a nerd culture elder at this point because I've been doing this for a long time, But just leave Andor out of the conversation.
Do you think that's an unfair comparison now?
It's just, it happens every time. We do this every time.
Sure.
It's like, this is like Andor. This is like Andor. And then the first shot of the show will be some CGI situation. You got to be like,
Right.
It's not like Andor. I don't want to like it. But to your point, thoughts that I had about this, it was interesting watching the trailer. Because there's two versions of the show that could have been made. One version of the show was, hey, it's this huge, big, gigantic thing. Everybody that you know, it could be a Skrull.
Yeah.
Spider-Man could be a Skrull. Fucking Ned is a Skrull. All of these things.
True.
Yeah.
They didn't go that route. It seems they went lean, taut, espionage, underworld thriller. And they added the Skrull's shape-shifting ability to that to add to the dramatic tension of that. Think about like The French Connection or any movie like that if you didn't know who you were talking to was actually who you were talking to or something like that. Yeah. That's very interesting. It seems as if they're taking sort of the DNA of Nick Fury's other strongest appearance, which would be Winter Soldier, and then using that as a through line to really make a smaller MCU story out of some big concepts, and I'm with that.
No, I'm locked in. I think what's interesting to me is we see James like Rhodey, right? And I'm pretty sure, like, I read this online somewhere like a long time ago, but he's supposed to be like either the vice president or somebody very close to the president at this point in the MCU. So I'm wondering, will we see other characters that we haven't seen in a minute and how they've developed over the years?
It's very true. We also have, the looming presence of Everett Ross, soon to be revealed in the Thunderbolts, that our old great friend that we'll never ever get tired of. I'm very curious to see where Nick Fury is in his life after all of this time, knowing that we've kind of come to see him. He's not wearing his eye patch anymore. Yeah. He's kind of got a lot of like chips on his shoulder from a couple of seasons past. He's been in space for quite a while.
When was the last time we actually saw Nick Fury? Right? Because in Far From Home, he's revealed to be a Skrull. And we're like, okay, like, he's been in space. How long has he been in space?
Post credits in Far From Home.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So was he a Skrull at the end of Endgame? Was that really him? Like, we really don't have a way of knowing until they tell us. That's a question I'm really interested to see answered when we get to Secret Invasion.
Yeah, I think that, like, because the Secret Invasion comics were kind of all-encompassing as an event for the for the Marvel comic books, and I'm kind of curious as to how they want to boil this down into a bit more of an intimate story for either Nick or the remnants of S.H.I.E.L.D., or what the kind of sort of political or even personal motivations of Nick after this has to be, because I think that the story that Secret Invasion has to tell that kicks off kind of a bigger event that the MCU could be is, what are the Skrulls' place in the universe, or at least as it pertains to Earth, now that this invasion is kind of starting to take place? That's the biggest question. Van, what's the biggest, like, mystery do you think that we could be coming and seeing from this show? Because I think that there's a lot of heavy hitters as far as acting is concerned that's coming out here. I think that who are you looking most forward to see?
These things are to hold down wires?
Yeah.
Is that really what this is for?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that's not they're saying in the back.
No? Well, we just do that then.
Like, I don't think that these things are supposed to be holding down wires like this.
Well, I mean,
they're using them to do that.
You use them to hold down the wires.
They're not.
Somebody's gonna lose one of these. This is like one of those things that Grogu was playing with. You're like,
right? Yeah.
Your question again? What are the biggest questions that?
Who else are you looking forward to seeing in the show? We got Olivia Colman.
Olivia Colman's in the show.
Yeah.
Who else? Who's the lady that's opposite him?
Khaleesi.
Khaleesi, yeah. Yes. Give me her name, though. I forgot her name. I forgot Khaleesi's name. You guys don't remember Khaleesi's name?
Nope.
What kind of fucking nerds are we? You know what I mean? She's
the Mother of Dragons.
The Mother of Dragons.
Daenerys Targaryen.
Emilia Clarke.
Emilia Clarke is in the show. Obviously, Colby Smulders is back. That's a big win for me. Love her. Look, the trailer was really good at laying out the tone of the show.
Yeah.
As far as what I can expect from the show, not that much. It seems as if there are some issues amongst the Skrulls in terms of factions of Skrulls, which is very interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's an interesting question where this invasion is coming from.
Yeah.
It's an interesting question what the purpose of this invasion is in terms of the MCU. I mean, we know what it was in the Marvel Comics run. Yeah. It's interesting to kind of figure out whether or not this show will fundamentally alter things that we've already seen in the MCU, or whether or not it'll fundamentally alter things that we are going to see in the MCU. Yeah. Because you could use a show like Secret Invasion to do a little bit of retconning, to do a little bit of moving things around. And the question would then become, what things from the last phase would Marvel say that, hey, we want to mess with that a little bit and then change it? Are there things there? And then moving forward, are there things that are happening here? Like, what if we find out that Moon Knight is a Skrull and we don't have to worry about that show or that?
which is kind of where you're bumping into the thing that the comics kind of could, like, that could happen, like in the comics, where like you would have an entire story arc and then something like a Secret Invasion or somebody like the Skrull could be like, wow, it was the Skrull, or we can hand wave something like, because if you want to mess with something like, oh, a big major player in the latest Shang-Chi movie might have had something to do with the Secret Invasion. Oh, well, that recontextualizes that entire movie for quite a while. Those are big stakes. Those are big implications that we could have here. So maybe those are the stakes we're dealing with in this show.
Listen, only stake for me in this series is that we get to see some Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. characters, guys. Come on. Who's with me?
Hey.
Huh? Coulson? Daisy? Anybody?
I'm just looking for knitted hats.
What if the version of Coulson that was killed in Avengers was a Skrull?
I mean, he couldn't be, because then he went on to have 7 seasons of television.
Yeah, what happened? I don't know what happened with that.
So this is a great, guys, just give me 2 minutes, okay?
How did he, what happened? I don't like, he died, he got killed.
So Project Tahiti, right? Brought back Coulson. He's got Kree blood in him, okay? Which makes him not quite like what's it called, an Inhuman, right? But he's got those genes in him, right? So when he died, that was the project was supposed to bring back a fallen Avenger, right? And so Sam Jackson, aka our guy Nick Fury, was like, hey, this guy's basically an Avenger, let's bring him back. And he brought him back, and now it's a whole thing, fellas. You know, we could be here all day.
We really could, but we really can't.
You know, we really can't. Long story short, he came back. He died multiple times over the series of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Not gonna believe it. Like 3 times he legitimately lost his life and yet came back. It's a whole thing, man. This is what we gotta do. We gotta get you on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., man. That's what it is.
Well, that's going to do it for us
Yes.
at Ringer Roundtables.
It's a good place to stop.
Ringerverse Roundtables. You can look forward to us covering Secret Invasion right when it comes out this summer, and we're looking forward to preventing Jomi from furthering that agenda of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
That seems excessive.
Well,
Seems like a lot.
it really does seem like a lot, doesn't it?
No, you hating. Hey, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for life.
And be sure to tell us what you think of the Secret Invasion trailer and what you want us to be talking about once it comes out this summer. I'm Steve Ahlman. That's Jomi Adeniran, Van Lathan. And this has been Ringerverse Roundtables. Thanks so much for watching.